Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. In this video, I am going to do two things. I'm going to review the game last night between the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers, where Montreal clinched their playoff spot, fourth place. Which, if you're wondering why I don't seem more excited, is because I grew up in an era where making the playoffs was nothing, and if they didn't win a Stanley Cup, there wasn't much to talk about. So I'm very happy that they got their playoff spot, and we're gonna at least be in fourth place. There's still an opportunity to be in third place depending on what happens with Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets one more point in their next two games, and Montreal doesn't get a point in their next game, then Winnipeg will win and be in third place and face Edmonton. All right, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game and all that. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a slight preview for next game, which is tomorrow. It's an early game at 5 p.m. So before we get into that, if you're a Habs fan like I am and you want to see more videos like this, even though it is the end of the season, but I do videos all year long. So please subscribe, ring that notifications bell. That'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge right here at Talking Habs. All right. So let's get into it. So if you're a regular watcher of this channel, you realize I'm not wearing a black shirt and they lost last night. But that's because something really good did happen and they got their playoff spot, and they'll be in the playoffs. And they earned it by getting the point last night and not by having Calgary or Vancouver spoil it and for the other team and then Montreal back in. So that's good. I'm happy for that. All right, so it was a 4-3 Oilers win, and I should have put overtime because it was an OT. So Montreal made it to OT. They got their point, and that clinched the playoff spot for them, so that's good. But it turned out that McDavid would go ahead and win it in overtime and kind of spoil it a little bit, but not really. I mean, we all said just as long as they get their point, we're all happy, even if they lose in overtime, which is what happened. All right, so it was a good game. I guess. I don't know. Montreal didn't give up. They got their point. They earned it. But quite honestly, if it wasn't for the third line last night, I don't know, would they have gotten their point? Probably not. So basically the Habs were third line was great, and the rest of the team, it's okay. Okay, let's get into it. So first period, so there's no scoring. I mean, it was pretty good energy by Montreal, I thought. They showed some urgency, and they really were trying to get the first goal, and you could see they wanted to win this game. At 9:32 of the first period, Jake Evans gets his third from Lehkonen and Byron, and the only way you can describe this is it was an absolutely filthy, beautiful goal by Jake Evans. I don't even know really how to describe it, but I'm going to try. So he gets a puck from Lehkonen. So he's skating into the zone, gets it at the blue line, skates in, goes towards the net, and at the bottom of the circle, he encounters Darnell Nurse. And he immediately just puts the brakes on and sort of pivots over towards the center of the ice, at the same time sniping a shot to the top shelf under the bar. Just, I don't know how to describe it other than a filthy, dirty, beautiful goal. So Montreal's up 1-0, and we're all happy, but it doesn't last long. 20 seconds later, James Neal gets his fifth from McLeod and Chasson, and he goes like this. James Neal from in tight. He's in tight, and the puck, it's kind of traffic, not really a scrum, but he's in there tight on the right side, I believe, and he gets the puck and he puts it between Allen's pad and the post, really in tight like that. So ties it up, and they get really quickly like that. Air goes out of the balloon a bit, but I mean, there's a lot of time left in this game at that point, and it's tied up 1-1. It's not like we're behind, so it's still looking good. Let's see, 4 minutes later. Under 4 minutes later, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets his 15th from Yamamoto and Draisaitl. So Hopkins left all alone on the left side. He gets a loose puck, and that's after... sorry if there's noise from my microphone. after Yamamoto's stick was lifted. He's in the slot, Yamamoto, like right in the slant, pretty much in the center. And I guess he gets a stick lifted and the puck sort of goes loose and to the left side, I think. And that's where James Neal is. He gets the puck and... no, Ryden Nugent-Hopkins, excuse me. Wrong goal. And yeah, he puts it in the net. So it's now 2-1 after one, and we're not all that happy. It's like, oh my God, they're not even going to get the point. Going to the second period. In the second period, 5:56 in, Byron gets his fifth from Lehkonen and Evans, and another one from the second line. And this one is on a backhander, which Byron, I think, he gets a lot of his goals on backhanders, it seems. That's what I'm thinking. So from the right side of the slot on a pass through the, not really through the crease, but through the slot, right down by the crease, by Lehkonen. And yeah, really nice goal, backhander, and yeah, we're tied up. So that's what we want to hear, tied up, because they just need that point. Got to be tied up. And then 9:26, so 4 minutes later, 3.5 minutes later, Dominic Cahoon gets his eighth from McDavid and Jones. And McDavid coming in from the right dot, so he's coming towards the net, and he passes it to Cahoon, who's on the other side, kind of right at the crease, and he just kind of redirects it in past Allen. And that's McDavid's 101st point there. And then that's pretty much it for the period. Like I said, I'm not commenting too much on the plays and stuff. I live cast during it, so that's one reason. But I thought, the play was kind of similar in each period. They did have a bit of a letdown in the second, yet they still got a goal and kept pace with Edmonton. So yeah, so that's what happens. We get to the third, no scoring except for 13:04, third line. Pops in another one, and this time it's Lehkonen getting his seventh from Evans and Sherratt. And Lehkonen from outside the left circle at the boards fires a snapshot that goes under Koskinen's arm. I think it goes under his arm. I think that beats Koskinen under the arm. Either under the arm or over the shoulder. I really couldn't tell which one. But anyways, nice shot by Lehkonen. A real quick snapshot. And yeah, it puts them tied up again, three apiece. And all three goals come from the third line. There's not much offense created by any other line. I mean, really, it was third line was really exciting all night. And that was pretty much it. Anyway, Edmonton kind of tries to get a goal. I don't know if they actually did or didn't. I think they did and then figured out, let it go to overtime. I really think that's what happened, and it goes to overtime. In overtime, Montreal seemed to have the puck a lot. No shots on goal. McDavid gets Draisaitl gets the puck at 2:42, or just before that. Feeds McDavid with from one side of the ice to the other, but up near the blue line. So stretch pass. McDavid at the blue line, rushing in all alone, and he beats Allen. Allen, he kind of really dekes him out. What does he do now? Yeah, so he's coming in from that side like that, and he makes to go backhander, right, and to the far side of the net, but he doesn't. He goes back to the forehand and in the short side. So beautiful move. Apparently he's done that a lot lately. And goalies just haven't picked up on it. But a beautiful move by McDavid. Wins it in overtime. Couldn't really care less. They got their point. They clinched the playoffs. We're all good. Okay, so Habs clinched the fourth place. There's also no guess the score winner on Evans's goal. Nobody picked Evans with that score. And yeah, so we got one more game for this. One more game. We'll do it also in the playoffs, but we got one more game. So don't forget, we'll do my Guess the Score contest. Guess, just in case you don't know what that means. Guess the score of the game, first goal scorer of the game as well. And you could win, for tomorrow's game, it's going to be a $10 prize directly into your bank account via Interac. So give that a try, but we'll talk about it in a minute when I get mine. Allen was 31 for 35 in the save department for an .886 save percentage. Koskinen, 25 of 28 for an .893 save percentage. Shots on goal, Edmonton 35, Montreal 28. Face-off percentage, 63% for Edmonton, 37% for Montreal. So they were kind of horrible. The only one that was above 50% was Jake Evans, but I got it there. Power plays, 0 for 1 for Edmonton, 0 for 2 for Montreal. Hits, 24 for Edmonton, 21 for Montreal. One of the few times lately that Montreal's been out-hit. Habs stars of the game. Third star, I'm going to go with... these are the official stars of the game. And yeah, the only one I thought maybe Byron for third and Lehkonen second, but I'm just going to go, these are the official ones, and I'm okay with them. Third star, Lehkonen, 1 goal, 2 assists. Second star, Byron, 1 goal, 1 assist. And first star, Jake Evans, with a goal and 2 assists. And he was 53% in the faceoff circle. He was the only Habs center with a positive, above 50%, let's put it that way. Nobody else was close. Stinkers of the game. I am giving this to the coaching staff. Questionable coaching decisions. Power play sucks. I don't know. I don't know what's up. I'm just giving it to them. But interesting, I saw a quote from Ducharme for the playoffs where he was quoted as saying he's going to put the best players out on the ice. He doesn't care if they're 18 or 40. We'll see. Does that mean Eric Stahl sits? I would hope. Old guys get an F. The youth, the young guys get an A+ tonight. They were great. I thought the third line made up of young guys really did well tonight. And although Byron's not a young guy, but I mean, Lehkonen's fairly young. Evans, I just thought the young guys are kind of driving things right now. And maybe it's time to go full youth movement. Something to talk about going forward. Third line saves the day. Without this third line today, I don't know. Last night, I don't know what would happen. They had all the offense. It seemed like they had all the freaking chances. I don't know. Hold high. No, that's not hold. It looks like hold. How high is Evans' ceiling? Evans, who was thought to be probably a fourth line center, maybe a third line center. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's an elite player like some people are putting out. He's elite. He's not elite. But really, how high is his ceiling? Could this guy actually be a top 6 center? When he hits his prime. That's the word. You think by the time he hits his prime, which he's close to though, he's 24, I think, this year. In the next 2-3 years, I don't know how high but definitely if we weren't sure that this guy could be a third line center, I think, if Deneau doesn't resign and doesn't stay, I don't think have a problem. I think Jake Evans is going to be a good replacement, and I think we'd be fine. So that's a possibility of what's going to happen, and if that's the case, he's proven it out that might be able to replace Deneau. Have to get Caulfield away from Stahl and Perry. This is one of the next thing is coaching decision, still questionable coaching decisions. Why is Caulfield playing with Stahl and Perry? I don't get it. I mean, he's at the goal, and they're still back, just crossing their blue line. Like, I don't get it. I think I don't understand it. I don't see why Caulfield's not playing with better line mates. I know he's young. I know he's small. I know they're trying to protect him, but I don't know. He's playing a kind of game that I don't know that he needs to be protected. I mean, to a certain extent, right? But I think that he's, third line, at the very least, he should be on the third line. I don't see him on fourth line with those two guys. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the coaching decisions, there's questionable coaching decisions. I don't get it. Is he making the decisions, Ducharme? Or is it made by the fact that Marc Bergevin signed these older guys during the season and they need to play? And that's how it is? I don't know. So I don't know if it's really Ducharme's fault or not, but something's going on. I don't get it. So if all goes well, and by that I mean if all goes well, that Winnipeg manages to keep third place and plays against Edmonton in second place, Montreal will play Toronto for the first time since 1979, and that'll be a Montreal-Toronto playoff series. I'm looking forward to that. I hope that happens. I know a lot of you don't agree with that, and I understand, but you have to understand my feelings on it. I would like to see this because I haven't seen it since 79. For me, Toronto is the biggest rival for the Montreal Canadiens for personal reasons. Goes back to the 70s. And so for me, that's what I want to see. So I'm not saying it's their best chance to move on in the playoffs. That's not why I want to see it. But I still think Montreal has a decent chance. A rested, healthy Montreal Canadiens have a chance to maybe surprise the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm not saying it's likely or whatever. So Leafs fans, don't come down on me on that. But I'm saying that I think that Montreal might surprise you guys. That's all. We'll leave it at that. All right, so we're getting to the end of this of my stuff. Okay, so tomorrow is the last game of the regular season. Game number 56. It's versus Edmonton again, and remember, it's at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. So don't go at 7 o'clock or whatever time it is where you are to watch it or listen to it. It's not going to be on, or it's going to be almost over. Live cast will also be at 5 p.m., but there's also a pregame show will be at 4:15. They will be up and posted by the morning. So pregame show at 4:15, live cast at 5. Time for me to do the Guess the Score contest, and I'll do a little bit about the game coming up, okay? So for me, for the score, I'm kind of waffling. Okay, here's the reason. For tomorrow, you got to figure... it's been... Ducharme did say if Winnipeg wins or gets that point they need to stay ahead of Montreal, I guess are flat-out wins so that Montreal can't catch them. They're probably going to rest a couple of players. Amongst them, one of them will be Josh Anderson. He's questionable for tomorrow. So I got to think, no matter what, if Montreal can't catch Winnipeg, then Anderson sits. And they'll rest a few players. I don't know who. I imagine Corey Perry's going to get a rest. I think Corey Perry needs a rest. I hope they'll sit Stahl. Well, let him play and then rest him in the playoffs. I mean, if that's the case. But so don't look for like a win here necessarily, because don't forget also Edmonton has one more game to play after this. So Edmonton will have one more game to play. So they might not rest anybody tomorrow night. I don't know. So that comes into play anyways in what you're thinking. So like I said, if Jets get a point, I think it's actually if they get a win, because if they get a win, they go up 3 points up on Montreal. So even if Montreal wins tomorrow, they can't catch them. So I'll amend that. So some players might get rested. Yeah, I think that could be, I don't know if Edmonton's going to rest anybody. They got 2 games left. I would think, they got their spot. They're not going to lose their spot. I don't know. We might not see McDavid and Draisaitl tomorrow. There might be some guys that they do rest. And we'll probably see Koskinen again tomorrow. I'd almost bet on that. For Montreal, I'd almost bet right now, and I'm not a betting man, I'd bet that Primo will be in net. Allen will get the rest because, Carey Price is still not certain. So I don't think they'll take a chance on overplaying like they have. They've overplayed him a little bit. Allen, because they're going to need him for the playoffs. So I fully expect to see Primo. On defense, probably going to see Gustafson in. To give somebody a rest. I don't know who else they have. I don't know if they're allowed to bring. They might be able to bring somebody up off the taxi squad because of it's the last game. They don't have to worry about whatever money is left. They can use it up. It doesn't matter because playoffs money doesn't matter. So, but we'll see some guys getting rested. I think I don't see why they wouldn't, even though they've got a week off probably after this game. Why not start with a couple of these guys that, like Perry, could really use the rest? Allen should get the rest, definitely. And yeah, I expect to see that. So, my guess the score for that game, I'm kind of waffling on who's going to win, right? Because it's hard to tell who's going to be playing. I'm going to assume that McDavid or Draisaitl are going to be out, maybe both of them. So, I'm going to give the game to Montreal. I'm going to call it like the score was last night. Whoops. Took the wrong color. So I'm calling it 4-3. 4-3 Montreal, based on the fact that I think Edmonton's going to rest more players, or more important players to the outcome of the contest than Montreal will. And the fact that Koskinen's in nets. It's going to be a big thing. I'm going to give my first goal to, because I don't think this guy's going to get rested, because he didn't play a lot. He's only been around for like 7, 8 games, 9 games. Yeah, I'm going to give Caulfield. I've done it a couple of times. Might as well keep going with it. Maybe it'll come true. So I've got it 4-3 Montreal. Cole Caulfield with the first goal. In a game that I fully expect to be kind of meaningless. It doesn't really matter the outcome of this game tomorrow. So, you know, I don't expect Montreal to necessarily come out flying. They're still going to be tired, so you got to expect that. They played a lot of hockey in a very short amount of time, so I expect them to be a bit tired. Yeah, even that, with that, I think the Oilers are going to have the guys that are going to be out are going to be the kind of guys that could have affected the game for them to win. So I think that Montreal could win, even though they're going to be tired. Let's put it that way. So there you go. I've babbled on a little bit too long, probably. There's my guess the score contest. Guess. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have a guess for the guess the score, in the comment section. And if you are new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and then you'll get videos like this where I just talk and talk and talk, and hopefully it's interesting. And also, look, previews, reviews, live casts, pregame shows, all that's going to continue on next season, obviously, through the playoffs as well. And I do videos all off season as well. So subscribe, ring that notifications bell, get your daily fix of Blue Mountain Rouge right here at Talking Habs. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. It's my last preview of any kind, because that was a bit of a preview. And it is my second to last review of the regular season for Talking Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. See ya at the game. Bye, everybody.